Hey everybody, welcome back to the weekly rewind. I'm Kira and I've got all kinds of games to talk about. So been listening to your feedback week to week and that we've had some audio things going on and you guys don't think I'm loud enough. So if I'm not, let me know and we will try and fix that in short order. Let's see here. What do we want to start with first? So I've been at PAX Unplugged. As you may or may not know. That's why we didn't have a weekly rewind last week. So let's see here. What happened? So I was at PAX Unplugged. Awesome. Audio is good. That's what I was waiting to hear. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so I was at PAX Unplugged last weekend, which is why I didn't do a rewind. And I was there with the Dice Throne crew. And got to see season 1 re-rolled right off the bat. I did not get to take one home with me because they need it for the next show, but we will get a copy of that soon, hopefully, to show you guys. I'm really excited for all the new look for season 1, plus the 2 new characters, which I played, the ninja and the treant, so much that I tried to just combine their names into one combined name. Probably not good, but they're very well paired together too. The treant took me by surprise. I was thinking I was going to come in there with the ninja and there was going to be some good vibes from the shadow thief to work through, and it's actually got a little more moon elf vibe to it, maybe a little bit of ninja, shadow thief vibe. There's a lot of cool things going on with the ninja and it just is super fun to play. But the treant, super fun to play. It's got these companions, which are a little sapling, like little seed, and then you can grow, and its passive ability is just to grow every time, and it's so good. And so season 1 re-rolled looks amazing. The 2 new characters, this is my first time really getting to play them in their finished form. I'd played the ninja in a much earlier version, and so I'm super excited for that. And other things that had me super excited, I'm not going to throw up as many pictures today because that was just kind of a hassle. I didn't get as many pictures ready for today because there's a lot of games to go through, so I don't really want to go back and forth as much on that, but I will continue to talk a little bit. So DTA, Dice Throne Adventures, was up, and Nate and team were demoing the latest version of that. The crowds around that table were insane, just people waiting to get in to check it out. I got to meet some really cool people who watched the show. Thank you so much for coming by and introducing yourselves to me. It meant a lot to meet everybody. And I've posted some stuff on Instagram, and you can check it out there. I won't spend too much time gushing, but want to just say something super specific to the Dice Throne team. You guys are amazing. I had a wonderful weekend spending time with you. I enjoy going to shows. I don't as much. I like being able to walk around and you know, see what everybody's doing, but I had so much fun actually just staying at the booth this time. And the reason why is because the game just does something to people. And anybody, I know when I talk about Dice Throne, people think I'm nuts, but like, there's something super special about this game. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When you go to the booth, just go to Dice Throne booth at a show. The next time you're at a show, go see their booth if they're there. And I'll tell you that the thing is that you play the game and you demo the game to somebody, or maybe you sit down and play it with them. And the next thing you know, they're demoing the game to somebody else, or they're bringing somebody over, or they're coming back multiple times. And that's just what the game does. It's so friendly, and everybody wants to play with everybody else and show everybody else and keep playing. Doesn't matter the age, like super young to older folks. My age is what I'm getting at. People older than me even. And so it just appeals to everyone. It's super accessible. It's such a fun game. And it was never not busy at the booth, and that was okay because we were having a really fun time. And the team there is super awesome, and I would really just encourage you guys, if you are Dice Throne fans, check out their community on Facebook because you'll get more of that in there, and that really positive, uplifting community stuff like you get from Board Game Spotlight and stuff, where it's just a lot of excitement. I just loved it. So thank you so much to them for having me, and thank you so much to all the fans of the channel who came by to introduce yourself. And if you didn't know this already, we have a Kickstarter going on for Man vs. Meeple right now, and Manny, the artist and co-designer behind Dice Throne, will be doing a live stream of our promo art tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Dice Throne Facebook page. So be sure to check that out and see and I'll tell you what it is. It's a minion. I'm so excited. We have a minion card in Dice Throne Adventures. I couldn't be happier. You're gonna see it for the first time tomorrow live if you're interested in watching it live on Dice Throne Facebook. So super, super cool. So I'm gonna go to the comments real quick and make sure I'm not missing anything. I see a lot of excitement for all the Dice Throne stuff. So obviously talking to the right crowd here, but I digress. So I'm going to move on to other things. So I had a couple of pickups at the show. I finally picked up Ecos. I'm not going to break it out because I haven't opened my copy yet. I'm not going to make you guys sit through that, but I did finally get my own copy of Ecos to play. I'm really, really excited about that. Just in the mail, I got Liftoff, which you guys have heard me talk about on a previous rewind. I got my own copy. Thank you so much to the Z-Man team for sending that my way, because I'm super excited to play it. A couple other pickups I got at the show. I'm going to now go to the table. Are we ready for this? Let's make sure everything's going to work today. All right. Oh yeah, we're at the table. So other things that came in and that I picked up. So number one, Shobu. Can we see it? Is it on screen? Did I do a good job? There it is. Happy day. All right, Shobu. For those of you that don't know about Shobu, yes, my table is blue today. If you were wondering, last week it was adventure themed. I am very clever. I have them all on top of each other so I can switch them out. Ooh, these are from Game Toppers. These are all my mats that fit my wonderful Adler, which is what I used for this stream. And they're very pretty, but I like this blue one today, so we're going with blue. So Shobu. Shobu is so good. I bought this Smirk and Laughter in this case. The guys have it, and I've played it, and I was kind of okay. I'm not super great at these games, but I like them anyway, and so I kind of knew when I bought this, I'd buy it and I'd play it with my husband. He loves these kind of games, and he's better at them than me, just flat out. So we've played it several times and he's beat me. So for those of you that don't know Shobu, I'm going to show it to you because it's such a lovely production, and I did make sure that the rocks are out so we don't have a lot of crinkling here. So there's this lovely rope, and I actually heard, so Kurt told me a story, Kurt, the owner of Smirk and Dagger, told me a story about what this rope is for. So the game was originally named something about like sumo battle. And in sumo wrestling, for those of you that don't know, in sumo wrestling, you are pushing off the rope. Actually, AJ from Colossal, there's a video out there on Facebook of him, if anybody is interested, of him actually being pushed out of the ring by a sumo wrestler. That's pretty fun to watch. So anyway, you've got the black player and the white player, and they're going to set up as so. And you've got black player apparently always goes first, which is great for me because I'm always black, but I don't know that it actually helps me. And you're going to put all of these little rocks across the top, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go the whole way. And then you're going to have the white ones. Whoops, I did that backwards. Boop, 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 boop. So it's going to be on both sides. And the whole point here is that you're doing passive and active moves, okay? So on one side, you take on your own side, you take a move. And then on the opposite color, and you can do it either on the opposite color on your side or on the other side, you then take the aggressive move. So as an example, if I were to, I should have set it up like this. All right, if I were to move this guy 1, 2, I can then move this guy 1, 2, right? And you can kind of see, so the whole goal is that eventually you're moving and you're pushing the guys off the board. So I'm not gonna get into it super deep, but check out pretty sure we have a review up on the channel of this one you should definitely check out, but you should check it out for yourself. It's a great game, and my husband keeps beating me at it. We just had it set up on the kitchen table, and he just keeps beating me, and it's enough to drive a girl crazy, but that's okay because we're having fun playing games together. So that was another one of my pickups from PAX Unplugged. I just had to have it. Now, another pickup I had at PAX Unplugged was another one I had to have. Now, I'll say, I almost picked up the German copy of this when I was in Essen because I've wanted it and I'm getting tired of waiting, but I knew North Star was bringing it out in the US, and that is the Taverns of Tiefenthal, which I still call Die Tavernen Tiefenthal because it's fun to say, and I don't know if my German is very good, but I keep trying anyway. And that in the United States is called Taverns of Tiefenthal, and I'm glad I waited because I didn't know they were going to do this, but isn't that so cool? Our logo's on there. Isn't that so neat? I love it. So I love this game, and my husband is particular. He likes dice stuff and everything. He's not a big Euro guy, but I thought he'll like this one because one, it's a bar, and he likes beers and crafty beers and things, and also it has the dice going on. So I thought the theme would really hook him. We played this late last night. I punched my copy, and we played, I'm aggressive. So I went ahead and I played with all of the modules. So if you guys don't know, in this game there are, what is it, 5? Yeah, 5 modules. We played with all of them except for the one that changes the setup because I thought it'd be fair for us both to have the same setup. I'm going to look and make sure. Oh, so as far as weight, I'd say medium. It depends. If you add all the modules, it's probably medium plus. If you don't have the modules, I say it's medium light. Because the game is not, to me, adding the modules didn't make it super confusing, but I did make my husband watch Rodney. So for those of you that need the good instructions, scan that QR code and have Rodney teach you how to play the game. It's the best. Now, he'll teach you the game without the modules. He'll go over them briefly, but the fact is that the game is great with all the modules, and so I play with all of them, which means I'm playing on the winter side of the board versus the summer side of the board. We're playing with, let's see here. We're playing with well, these guys who let you move up a reputation track, which is a part of your board. I'll get out some of these component pieces for you. So you have a signature book that's a module. You've got your little bar guy who sits on the bottom, and he's going to flip over, and he's going to have something else going on, including this little, because again, that flips out, and you can either have the signature book on or off. And so he fits right here on your board. And I love this. For those of you who haven't seen this, let's just have a little fun. Let's put this whole thing together because this is one of the best things about this silly little game. I love it because it's got all this amazing modular stuff, and you're going to upgrade the different parts of the board. And you've got your dishwashing area. You've got your little lazy dog who will turn into a waitress if you upgrade it later, and you'll have a permanent waitress spot. But for now, why not? A tavern dog. We like the tavern dogs. You've got your bank area, which again flips over and is more storage. You've got your brewer who's going to bring the beers to you. You've got, I think, oh, it's right here. You've got your storage for your kegs, boom, right there. And then you're going to have your tables on top. And then you have a little deck of cards, and you have some other fun things that are going to happen, and you have your dice, and the dice hang out on this coaster, and you guys are going to draft. So you're going to roll 4 of the white dice, and then you're going to draft them back and forth depending on how many players. Then you have this little deck of cards. And you're going to flip them out, and they're going to be the people that sit at your tables, and potentially other things that you can get. So more wait staff, more dishwashing staff, new bar backs who are going to bring more beer to the thing, and you're going to bring in new guests and nobles and all kinds of fun stuff. And it's a really lovely game. Everyone should play it. It's wonderful. Obviously, we love it. It's Man vs. Meeple approved. It says so on the box, and that's so cool. I love it. And I'm just really glad I waited to pick up a copy because, one, love supporting North Star. Two, it's got our little logo on it, and I'm just so happy. So, okay, so that's the Taverns of Tiefenthal, y'all. Let's see. I made a mess out of this box, and I will clean it up after the stream. Let's just kind of put it off to the side. I need a little gremlin to come help me clean up my mess when I'm... So, what else did I bring back from... Oh, let's see. There's one thing I did bring back, and I'll talk about this just very briefly because this is a game I'm working on with a new publisher. Their name is Guildhall Studios. I'm going to show you the map first because it's rolled up, so it's going to be... This is just a prototype, so don't judge too harshly, but already I'm really happy with how pretty this thing looks. And it's a pirate sandboxy game. It's called Sea of Legends from Guildhall Studios. They're brand new. You've got these really neat, it's where you're a captain and you've got a lover and a nemesis and you're setting out to sea. And I'll just show you very briefly. So the art in this game is phenomenal. So you got a bunch of different captains, and I love, these are just some of the early ones that you can see, and they're going to have a quest that they start on, which is really neat. And each one of them, so you're going to choose your captain. So I'll choose her, and then I get to choose my lover or my nemesis. So every single person can be my bad guy I got to fight against, or can be my very favorite person. Right, so let's see, there's a piece of art here I really like. I'm gonna find that piece of art. Where is it? Yes, Clara the blacksmith. She's so awesome and like super strong. And I just love the way she looks. So they all have different quests they're gonna start off on, and they're gonna go out into the world and they're gonna fight the horrible monsters of the sea, right? So we're gonna have some different kinds of sea monsters come out. We're going to have some different pirate ships show up, and every one of these guys has some level of difficulty to them in order to fight them, right? So you can kind of see some of that. I know it's not great. You'll have your starting crew that you'll be working with. You'll have crew that you can get, and there are relics that you get, and there are, there's booty, you know, because you got to get that booty for, that's pirate speak for treasure. Don't you try and make this something it's not. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so it's a really cool looking game, and it's got some sick little miniatures to it. And this is just a prototype, so I'm like really excited about it. I wish I could show it a little bit better, but I'd need to be able to zoom in, and this thing doesn't auto zoom, but I'll see if I can get out a couple of these big bad miniatures so you guys can see them okay. Oh, that doesn't even do it justice. It makes me so sad. Can you guys see that? So that's one of the big bad monsters. Here's the other one, who's also super wicked. Anyway, so I'll be playing this and getting to know this game better, and each of those little characters have miniatures, and there's little miniatures, pirate ships, and actually, see, I'll pull some out. Little miniature pirate ships. Whoop. So they'll be sailing around on the, you've got these little bad guys, you've got your guy who's gonna have a miniature, and it's got a really cool app too. So the game is just really neat. So I'll be looking, I'm working on this project, so I will be playing it frequently, I am sure, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I was so excited to also just be able to bring home a prototype to play and get to know the game better versus just kind of doing the online talking about it stuff. So that is Sea of Legends coming in Q1 sometime to Kickstarter. So, all right. Other things. I was really excited to show off Crosswords. So this is Nick Little. For those of you guys who don't know who Nick Little, he co-founded Action Phase Games back in the day. Heroes Wanted is a game you might recognize. They were acquired by Indie Boards and Cards, and he is the VP over there now. This is a game of his that I saw like 6 years ago. It used to be called Abracazebra. And it's such a cute little game. I just want to show it. It's going to be coming out in April. So this is a pre-production copy. So just bear with me because it is not a lot's going to change, I don't think. I think they'll get some more baggies. But you have these little, this is like a fun party game. I think it's so fun. So you take this out and you've got, starts with, and you put that out in this first spot, and then you're going to have, you see it's got different colors here, and you're going to put, there's a bunch of different cards, and they go out in the different color order that it shows here, and you have to figure out what the crossed word is. And I'll just show you, I'll get some of these cards out because I grabbed my not open copy somehow versus my open copy, because we did play this at PAX, and I really just had a lot of fun with it. So imagine if you will. All right, so there's that. Here's a green one, and then pretend this is blue because I don't have that unwrapped. But so then what you're doing is you've got these little discs in your player color, and so you're going to take one and you're going to take your marker, and you're going to try and figure out what the crossed word is. So buildings with boys' first names, TV shows with articles of clothing, and so on. And you're writing them down and you're throwing them in here, and you can put as many as you want in there, but it's kind of in like a way just one, which is funny because this game was designed so long ago. In my head it came first. But anyway, if people have the same thing, they mark each other out, and the whole point is that you're trying to get the most discs out here and the most unique stuff so that you can win the round. And you'll do that until somebody, it's a race to 7 points, and points are awarded based on first place, second place, third place each round. So it's a minimum of like 3 rounds to win, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just a really neat little game, and it's fun, and I just see this being a really great one to play at shows and stuff with friends. So be looking for this one to be coming out in, what did I say, April, from Indie Boards and Cards and Nick Little, and I should mention Evan Davis is another name on here. So it's not just Nick's game, but that's Crosswords, and I'm super excited for that one. So definitely check that out in April. All right, back to the front camera so we can talk for a minute. Hi, I'm gonna look at comments. Let's see. We do love North Star Games. John has played Taverns once. He's hoping to get it for Christmas. Listen to the Christmas request, y'all. So let's see. Oh yeah. Andrew is making fun of me for calling pirate treasure booty, but that is what they call pirate treasure. I'm sorry. I just am using the technical terms that are correct for pirates. That's the deal. You have to use the right terms when you're talking about pirate treasure. Carl is up late. It is super late in the UK watching tonight. And let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit, so Crosswords is a little bit of a tic-tac-toe vibe to it. That I can see that for sure in an interesting way. And the fun thing is, like, so if you have the colors and men's names or something like that, and your crossword is Fred, that'll work because it contains red. So, and again, this is a fun game. So if you take it too seriously, you're really not doing yourself any favors. So I'm going to break for a second. So I don't know if you caught the title of this, but I said playing with Alexa. So while we were in Essen, we got to take a sneak peek at a new Alexa skill from Amazon. And what had happened is they saw that they were getting a lot of unanswered requests. So, you know, if you have an Amazon Alexa device and you ask it a question, she gives you back some generic thing if she doesn't understand what you're asking. And so she gets asked a lot, how do I play this game? Which, like, to me, that's so strange. Like, how does she even know what game you're playing? You gotta give her a little more information, right? But it was a top concept that people were asking about, and nobody was saying anything. So she didn't have an answer for how to play this game. So they looked at what game is out there that fits a particular market for Amazon, right? And they found Ticket to Ride. They called Days of Wonder and they said, we want to create a skill for how to play Ticket to Ride. And I gotta say, I've never played Ticket to Ride. So I kind of looked at this as a fun opportunity, and I was very lucky to be a part of this event to learn more about it. And here's why I've never played Ticket to Ride. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'm not gonna pretend like it does. It's nothing against the game. Alan is a great designer. The game's been around forever. It just had its anniversary edition. It's a great game. It's admittedly a great game. It just never appealed to me because I'm not a train game person, and I know it's gateway, and those two things just didn't make it like sing for me. But I knew in the back of my head I needed to play it because it's one of those games that I should just have played, right? You just should have played it at some point in your life. And so I got a copy of Ticket to Ride to play, and I activated the Alexa skill, and my husband and I played it yesterday. Now, he loves Ticket to Ride. He likes the planning and all that fun stuff. And I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would because, you know, like I understand the basic concept of the game, but what was really, really neat is that Alexa taught us how to play. So I've got a couple of clips here. I've got a couple of clips here where you can kind of see what it's like. So I have the Fire TV Alexa. And so you can use just a regular Alexa. You don't have to have anything as fancy as what I have. It'll do all the same things. It's just that the Fire TV version also has a visual attached to it, which they did not tell us. I was unprepared for, and it was super cool. So anyway, let's have a look. So this is what it looked like after our second game, because yes, we played 2 games of Ticket to Ride. I'm going to turn things on and off, so bear with me here as I figure this out. I'm going to turn on that, let's see, Alexa 1. There it is. So she's going to walk you through everything, and she's going to tell you what she's doing, because yes, she asked to play with us. That is something that can happen in this game. It is hilarious. So what I'll do now is I'll actually turn this off, and I will show you her actual intro, and I'm going to have my mic on, but I'm going to let her go for a second so you guys can see what this is like. So I got about 2 minutes of footage here. Bear with me. Yes.
Great. How many of you will be playing today?
2.
Ooh, looks like you have room for one more. Want me to join?
Sure.
Wahoo! Do you already know how to play Ticket to Ride?
No.
Alrighty, let's get started and I'll teach you how to play. Would you like me to walk you through setting up the game?
Yes.
Righto! I want you to be able to learn at your own pace, so think of your voice like a remote control.
So that's just a little quick look at Ticket to Ride with Alexa. Now, I don't know what to say here other than she definitely beat us the second time. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or impressed, honestly. It's one of those things where I was totally dumbfounded by the fact that she figured us out and and was able to totally beat us. It's totally unfair. Anyway, why I wanted to bring this up. It's super cool. And the fact that Amazon is doing this and partnering with people like Asmodee and Days of Wonder to bring out a skill like this gives me so much joy. I don't know what else to say. It gives me so much joy to know that somebody who is literally doesn't even know what to start. They got this game, it's sitting in a box, they've never even opened it, can have help getting started. She tells you to open the box. She tells you to put aside the rules and the pamphlets and all the junk that you don't need because she's going to help you with it. She tells you about what to do with the components in the box. And when you're playing with her, so she'll ask, hey, I see you've got room for one more. Can I join you? So she'll join you and start playing. I mean, it's pretty neat. And so then you just pick a color for her, and she'll tell you where her things are, and you lay them down, and when she draws cards, it makes the draw card sound. And if you need help, and she really walks you through everything, and there's certain things she doesn't tell you about up front. It's kind of we're going to get you started, and we're going to do a couple of things, and then you're going to move on to actually playing the game for a few rounds, and then she'll go, oh, and by the way, and she'll give you some new thing. Then when you go back and play it again later, you can either have her help you and do the tutorial, or you can just skip that entirely. She can still play with you. So it's kind of a fun thing. If I want to play by myself, because no one's here, and that happens often in my house, I'm here alone, I can just play with Alexa all by myself. And so it's pretty cool. And the fact that it's there and that she walks you through the setup, probably a lot of you guys out there, and for me, it was unnecessary. The game to us is probably easy because we've played it before, or we've seen games like it before, and the setup and all that's fun. But that's not the case for everybody. And the fact is that somebody very young could have Alexa teach them how to play this game without any adults even, as long as obviously the parent has given permission to use the skill. And it's really neat. So I highly recommend everybody at least try it out and see what it's like for yourself. And I'm really excited to see what Amazon comes up with next with the Alexa skills for games. And I think if you're out there and you've got a gateway game, and I definitely recommend that you probably keep this to gateway games. There are heavier games out there. Probably a little too much to use an Alexa skill for currently. Who knows what will happen in the future. The fact is that this opens up a whole new world for people, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next. And it's just going to bring more people into this hobby and be more comfortable and make it more accommodating, and I just love it. So that's me going on and on about Ticket to Ride. Of all the games, I never thought I'd be talking a lot about Ticket to Ride. So it does it for Europe and for the base game. So right now that's all that's available, and she'll even make sure that you have the right version of the game out and all of that stuff. So let's see. Yeah, there's just certain games that I'm not sure Alexa can quite wrap her head around. We'll stick to having Rodney help us, right? So that's that. Okay, so let's go back to, what else? Do I have anything behind me I should talk about? I know I talked about it a little bit last week, but the Wingspansion, or not last week, like a while back when I got it. So we played this on our live stream, Ryan and I did last Wednesday. So if you want to see the new Wingspansion stuff, I highly recommend you to check out the live stream. We made sure to pretty much only play with the new stuff so people could really see it. So I won't get into deep about that. Played Marvel Champions. I taught Marvel Champions. I don't even know if you can see it. It's like off camera. Whatever. You guys know what Marvel Champions look like. It's got awesome heroes on the front. So Marvel Champions LCG is my new favorite game, I think, and will be for a very long time to come. It's wonderfully done by the folks over at FFG, and they know what they're doing. I don't know what else to say. So I got an opportunity to finally teach it to Kevin and Coco, my friends in our family gaming group. And Kevin works for Colossal, and Coco is his wife, and we played games with them forever. And he was like, okay, I don't care. I've taught them Flick of Faith, which obviously, you know me, I love Flick of Faith. I'll talk about it. We talked about it last time. I'm not going to get into that again, but I taught them Flick of Faith, and he was like, cool, we can play whatever else as long as Marvel's on the table. So he's been waiting for me to bring it over. So we finally got Marvel to the table. I taught it. And I realized it was really only the second time I've taught the game. A lot of times I'm playing with Jeremy or whoever, and Ryan and all that, but I hadn't taught the game in a while. I taught my husband a while back, but I hadn't taught the game, so I had to kind of refresh myself. And I gotta say, there's something to it's not a difficult game, but there are some little nuancy things, so you want to make sure you know those before you go in. So we played it. We did great against Rhino, not hard, with 4 superheroes. But then they wanted to jump right to Ultron, and I was like, yeah, we probably shouldn't. And then we died. So that was that. Then Andrew and I played it again today. Andrew in the comments, Andrew, who's throwing shade as per the usual. So we played that today, and we did okay. Did we end up winning? No, we lost. We lost. He schemed all over us, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. I'm getting all my games confused. So we definitely didn't do as well as I'd hoped we'd do. But we also played another game that is a game I was looking at Essen. Andrew brought my attention to in the first place, and Jeremy picked up through a Canadian something or other. We'll go to the close-up. It's called Nova Luna, and we played this today. And it's another race game, and I know you guys heard me, and I did bring Fast Laws so I can show it to you. Jeremy's been talking about liking race games all of a sudden. This is one of them. So Stronghold Games will be bringing this to the US at the end of February. This is a beautiful game. This is an Uwe game, so I'm sure everyone will like it. Generally, Uwe games are awesome. So I can't think of one that I played that I don't like. So you've got this little moon. It's already pretty, right? Then you've got your own little top thingies, and they're going to be your score counter. I call everything thingies, and the way I described this game was you take your things and you collect them, and you put the thing in front of you, and then you try and fill the thing in. That's how you teach this game, by the way. Very good explanation. So you're going to have, these are the things, right, that I was just mentioning. This is all very, very well explained, I know. So these are the things, and there's going to be a bunch of these things around the outside, and obviously I need to shuffle these up a little bit. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I drew them. Whoops. And my chair's rolling out from under me, about busting my face. So you're going to be working through against whoever, and I've only played it at 2, so we'll pretend we have a second player here. And the second player has their little cube there, and you're going to choose one of the 3 spaces in front of you, and you're going to take that thing and you're going to put it into your little tableau off to the side. Okay, so I picked that one. The moon goes there, and my space, my token is going to move the amount on the thingy. So 1, 2, 3, and then like Takedo or Glenmore, whoever's the furthest behind gets to go. So if you stay behind because you only picked a small number, then you get to go more than once, and so on. And so then you're going to move to the 3, and we'll do that again. And it's going to keep going like that, and somebody's going to take this. And eventually what you're trying to do is connect all these dinghies to each other and create a way that you're now completing a goal. So this is 1 red. I have 1 red. If I have a neighborhood of red, then they can start to be associated with other things. So this one wants a yellow, a red, and a teal. So ideally, I want something that looks like this in order to complete this thingy. All right? And so on and so on. So you see now I've got a 3 here. I've got a neighborhood of 2. So if I eventually connect this like this, it doesn't have to be attached. This now is completed, and so on. So very, very pretty little game. It's a race game though, because it's whoever's out of their discs first. So you really want to be thinking and planning about placement and making sure all the thingies go on the right thingies at the right time. Is that a good explanation you guys like when I explain things by just calling everything a thingy? I'm sure that's super helpful. All right. I know it really made Andrew and Lizzie understand when I was explaining the game earlier today. So, all right, so that's Nova Luna. I like it. I was attracted to it because I was intrigued by this board and everything and the way it looked. But the fact is I'm not a big fan of race games, and I liked it because it's thinky. It's a thinky race game, and I didn't even care that I lost both times to Andrew today because it was close, and it was just, frankly, I wasn't paying attention to anybody but myself and what I was doing. So I'm going to talk about Fast Laws. So we're on the race game. Real quick, I'm going to look at our comments. Yeah, Andrew pointed out that Claw is a kind of a jerk in Marvel Champions, for those of you who were tuned in a moment ago in the comments here. And then, let's see, anything else? You guys, yes, you like the things. You now have 4 things. Things are good. So Fast Laws, which I love the whole oxymoron, it's a pick up and deliver me game, and it's very cute. And I know the art doesn't do a whole lot for everybody because it's childish or whatever. I don't care. I think it fits the game just fine. Maybe it's not my favorite cup of tea, but you've got, I mean, look, these are huge. So I'm just going to bring out half the board, but imagine, if you will, two of these stuck together. Here's the other one over here, okay? And you've got a board in front of you that looks something like that. And you've got all these different animal cards, okay? And it's a mix and match. You bring out different ones depending on the game. And you've got your own, there's little leaves out in these little spots. And what you're trying to do is pick up the leaves of your color. You've got your little sloth in your color, and he can't move by himself. He needs people to move him around the board. So, like for instance, these ants, they're strong, right? So they pick you up and they move you over the top of them. So, or this dolphin, if you're next to water, if your sloth is sitting in water, and the dolphin will come pick you up and move you around. And there's some fun little rules to how you have to play the cards. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail. Go watch Jeremy's review, because frankly, this is another race game. It's the first person to get all their leaves. And then you have one more turn, and if you can do it, but like, I don't know. I didn't think I would like it. And I didn't have like the greatest first play experience, maybe because I kind of figured out what to do like halfway through, and I did kind of go in half interested because it's a race game. And I was like, I don't know, man, it sounds kind of dumb. But it is Friedman Freeze, and he makes good stuff and everything that starts with an F. But here's your little sloth and your little leaf tokens. And you gotta pick up the sloth and move him around the board until you get all your leaves, and he's happy and you're happy, and the game is over. Somebody wins, and that's pretty super neat. All right, it's another great explanation. So other new deliveries. So we're really excited. We got these special Keyforge decks delivered to the studio. A bunch of different ones with different names, and so these are the two I snagged. This one is Wisperia, the teacher of Man vs. Meeple, and the other one, which seemed appropriate, Madam Owens of Man vs. Meeple, because I'm a girl, so I took it because it said Madam, because I don't know, I wanted it. And it's black and white, so I like the black color. I took a green one and a black one, and those are my two, and there's more, and I'm sure we'll hear more about them. So Jeremy Howard is a sweetheart, and he got me an early Christmas gift that he gave to me at PAX U, because I obviously like ninja stuff, because I trained as a ninja many years ago, and so everything ninja, I'm all for it, which is not, like super ninja to constantly talk about ninja, but I'm an off-duty ninja now. So anyway, this is a little fun dexterity game, which it's a 3 to 5 player game, and then my husband and I went to play, and I was like, oh, we'll just play the duels only, because there's duels and then like group challenges in here. Look, this is a little dojo. It's super cute, and I'm thinking it's all going to be dexterity, because we saw this from Yellow a while back, and it's not. Some of it's just like really goofy party game stuff. So you've got duels and you've got group challenges, and they've got these little icons on the back to signify that, and based on the player count, it tells you what battles to have. So 1 versus 2, 2 versus 3, and everybody has a number based on their player color, and that's how you determine who's battling who. And then there's the group ones where everybody has to participate. Well, we just kind of went through and we realized we weren't going to be able to play it at 2-player very well, so we just found some that we wanted to see if we could do, and I want to find one of them that's pretty funny. So there was one where you have to coordinate quickly to put so these are little logs, and you have to make it so they all stand up and all the ninjas stand up on top of them. And then there's another one where you have to put this little card in it. There's another one where you have to throw the ninjas and make sure that they don't bounce out of the box, but you have to be a certain distance away, and you have to throw the ninjas into the dojo and hope that they land. It's just a silly little fun game, and thank you, Jeremy Howard, for getting this for me. I can't wait to play it with more than 2 players, but we made it fun with 2-player anyway and had a blast with it. So Jeremy had picked up one of these games in the series at Essen, and then we picked up another. I picked up one at BGG-Con, which we haven't played, called Channel Tunnel, and I'm not even going to pretend to remember the numbers of all of them, but one was like 1947, one was like 1987 maybe, and this one is 1920 Wall Street. Andrew was getting rid of this along with other games that hurt my soul, like Dice Throne, and I picked this up from him in Dice Throne so I can gift Dice Throne to somebody. But I got this because, I don't know, they make good games, it looks like, and so I wanted to try it. So this is another pickup I just got today, actually. All right, couple other things I'll talk about before we're done for the day. First thing is another Kickstarter that's upcoming that I actually get to work on a little bit, called Warp's Edge. Why am I excited about this? For several reasons. One, it's a solo-only game, which kind of blows my mind. And this is actually the second in Renegade series. They had one before called Proving Grounds. And, you know, I'm not typically a big solo player. I do play some things solo, like Wingspan and Welcome To, when I need something to do. But I generally like hit an app. So, but this is Scott Alms. It is a solo-only game, and it is space theme. And we did just talk about space themes on our chit chat this week, but I like space stuff. It's a theme that I'm attracted to. I get really excited about it. And what I really like about this game is it's a bag builder. And we like bag builders, don't we? It's like a new fun thing. Quacks did that for us. So sorry, there's a little rule book, there's a storybook, and then there's like a player board where you're going to put all of the stuff that you're going to be acquiring to build your bag. And this is a prototype, so just bear with me, but it's a pretty nice looking prototype. So these are all the different abilities your ship can have during your battle against the motherships, right? And you're building those into your bag, and you've got these different, so you've got your ship and you've got these crazy motherships that you're going to be battling. And they've got a certain amount of warps to them. Whoops, I'm not on screen. They've got a certain amount of warps to them, and when you run out of your bag, you just whoop, 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 and start over at the beginning again, and you've now got new stuff, new skills, and things to add to your bag, and you go for the mothership again. You shouldn't die. Dying is bad in this game, but you run out of options and you start over. It's Groundhog Day-ish in the way that you start everything over and you have more information and you can make decisions accordingly, but you can't die. If you die, like Edge of Tomorrow, you are dead. There's no starting over like in Edge of Tomorrow. So anyway, more to come on this. Jeremy Howard will be doing some solo coverage of this, so stay tuned for more Warp's Edge coming soon. I know there's a bunch of solo people that this got sent to, so I'm really excited about it. This is hitting Kickstarter on the 1st of the year. So soloing in the new year with Warp's Edge will be a lot of fun, I'm sure. So that's that. So then Matt over at Bezier, congratulations, just had a new baby. Yay. Let's see, I'm looking back here, make sure I didn't miss any comments. Did I try Proving Grounds? I have not tried Proving Grounds yet. I have it on the shelf because I need to play it. It just, hadn't caught my attention until Warp's Edge came around, and I'm like, this is the second in your series. What was the first one? And so then I started looking into it more, and I'm really, really excited for the solo. So, but back to this. So this is Beer and Pretzels from Bezier, and I'll tell you what's so funny about this. So I was talking to Matt at one of the shows, and I was telling him what kind of games I play with my friends. I was talking about Flick of Faith, of course, and he said, he's like, I got a game I think you'd really like, and I'd like to send it. So he sent this over, and I remember him asking, and I forgot about it. And then, surprise, surprise, I've got all these packages. So that came, and they weren't all for me. They were for somebody else in my family who sends stuff to me when they're traveling, just like I do to them, because we travel. And it kind of got mixed in with their packages, and so I didn't know it showed up. So it's been here for who knows how long, and I just saw it today, so I didn't get a chance to play it with anybody yet. But my favorite thing about this so far is the quick game of short rules, addictive gameplay, and an unnecessarily long tagline, which cracks me up. And then Andrew pointed out to me that if you read the back, there's more stuff on it. So there was only 2 of us, and it was towards the end of our gaming. I thought more people were going to be there, so I was hoping to get to try it out for the first time today. But so this will be hitting the table soon, and I'll be able to talk to you guys more about it, but this is a new arrival that I'm pretty excited about. So last thing about PAX, and then one last new arrival. All right, so I got to teach the Dice Throne team Villainous at the show, which was really exciting. We just played the base game of Villainous, and it brought to my attention that I still have not played either of the new expansions for Villainous, which are standalone expansions. So you can just pick up one of these and play the game, and I'm really sad that I haven't done this yet, because I was so excited for Eastman, I was so excited for Hades, and yet here I am unplaying. So I taught them Villainous while we were at the airport. They liked it. I'll tell you, I still firmly stand by the fact that I think 4 players is the max for this game, and 3 is the sweet spot. I think if you go to 5, the game is far too long, and it stops being fun for everybody. I think that you have to, there's a few things, like Captain Hook is difficult because nobody wants to fate Captain Hook because he wants to find Peter Pan so he can do his evil plans. But here are some of the, so here's the Evil Queen bit. Then there's the Facilier, which he kind of looks like one of those party cups with a straw in it, which is kind of funny. And then you've got Hades, which is just like fire and robe, which is pretty neat. And so I'm looking forward to playing them. And then of course, how can we possibly forget the fact that Scar just came out, which is everybody was excited about. I mean, Scar seemed like the obvious choice from the beginning, did he not? I mean, like you see, I haven't even opened this one. I'm so angry with myself. But then you've got Yzma, which I've been saying forever. I can't wait to see her deck, because with Krunk and everything, she's just a hilarious hero. And then you've got Professor, what's his name? Ratigan? Professor Ratigan, which I guessed him, it's been so long since I've seen The Great Mouse Detective. That one caught me by surprise. And then you've got, of course, Scar. Ooh, so evil. He's such a bad guy. Or is he just misunderstood? So that's Villainous. So I gotta get these new villains, I should say, to the table soon. Now, my last thing I'll talk about before heading back to the screen and looking at comments is my surprise delivery. Thank you, Druid City and Skybound, and everybody over there, Derek, James, and the team, for sending me this. I'm so freaking excited. I had missed the Kickstarter because I think it was going on while some other stuff was going on, and I just kind of like spaced the whole thing. And I've been seeing all the pictures of all the stuff coming out, and I'm really excited to get this to the table. Like, this is so exciting. I love everything they do. If you guys don't know, I talk about Grim Masquerade a lot. It's like one of 2 social deduction games that have ever gotten me even remotely excited about a social deduction game, which is just not me at all. I don't normally like them, but Don't Mess with Cthulhu. The guys turned me onto that a long time ago. And then, of course, Grim Masquerade. They're just a lot of fun. But those are much different types of games than Sorcerer's City. And I just can't wait to look at it. It looks beautiful. Like that and Tidal Blades. Those are high on my list of, I've got to get those figured out. So let's see what the comments are saying. Let's see. The video doesn't have any screaming children, does it? I hope no. Let's see. Villainous is a great game. So, somebody retracted a message. That's okay, though. So Villainous is from Disney and Ravensburger and Prospero Hall, which Prospero Hall has been doing amazing things. So they're now they've now signed up and are an exclusive with Funkoverse. Funko specifically, and Funkoverse was the strategy game that came out with the little pop figures, which you would go, it's a gimmick, but it actually is a fun strategic little game. And we played Rick and Morty versus the Golden Girls, which was pretty entertaining on our live stream. I really like playing with the Batman and the Joker Harley mix up. I really want to play with the Harry Potter, but that's the mind behind all this. So they did Jaws. They've done, I'm going to lose track of all the amazing stuff they've done because Jaws was great. Obviously, Horrified was another amazing one that came out this year. Everybody's loving. And so, Villainous is from them, the behind the scenes with them, and Ravensburger from earlier, well, from last year, technically. And then they just keep bringing more stuff out. So the number one villain I want to see next, is Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I hope that one comes out next. Let's see. All right. It looks like... Oh, I didn't know that. So Prospero Hall did the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves game, which was like a quartz theme according to James, which I did not know that. I just knew it was themed around them, and I didn't know that they did it. So that might make me a little more interested in checking it out. When I'd heard that game was pretty mean. My husband does not like when we play mean games, so I tend to skip them for the home purchases, but I love playing them. I love mean stuff. So that's I think that's the majority of the recap for this week. What else did we play that I'm forgetting? I know there's something that we played. Oh, I know. So speaking of games that I should have probably played, but I've never played, like Ticket to Ride, is Castles of Burgundy. And I think it came up a while back that in another stream that we did, it was like, oh, I gotta play. So Jeremy finally taught me Castles of Burgundy earlier this week, and I know I like it. It was good. I'm surprised I haven't played it. I don't know why it never hit my table. I don't know if it just didn't make the rounds with people I was playing with, but something about it wasn't that appealing to me visually, and so I just didn't think. I was like, I'll skip that one if, somebody there's just so many new games, and so it just never, because I hadn't played it, I didn't know what it was. And then they came out with this new anniversary edition box, which just has everything in it. Everything kind of looks the same on the inside, but it's got a prettier outside. It's a game I should have played, and now I've played it, so I can scratch that one off the list. So I see here that James says he also hasn't played it. You gotta play it, James. Like, I almost feel bad that I didn't play it until now. So other things we've been playing, been playing plenty of Cthulhu Death May Die still. That's still a thing. We're still playing that game. We're getting ready to play Tainted Grail soon. I know we are. We're all kind of hot on it, but we need time to actually dedicate to it. And with all the travel and everybody, things kind of got crazy. And so, there's definitely classic games that should hit the table that haven't for me, for whatever reason. Just maybe when I entered into playing board games more full time and all that stuff. I'll be honest with you, my Christmas break is probably, not that I have a Christmas break, but while my husband's home from work and stuff, we're going to be playing the Star Wars video game that came out because it's supposedly amazing and I love Star Wars. So we're going to be doing that. And then on Thursday, we're going to see the new Star Wars movie. So we've got Star Wars on the brain right now. I've been watching The Mandalorian. I know that's not about what's been hitting the table, but it is totally something that is catching my world. I don't know if anybody else is excited about it. I'm not even going to start talking about my opinions of episodes and stuff, because the fact is, at the end of the day, whether I liked it or I didn't like it, I love Star Wars. So I will take more Star Wars, even if it's not quite hitting the notes I want it to hit at different times, and I'll give it a chance. And overall, I like The Mandalorian. So do I wish some things were different at certain times? Of course I do. I'm a nerd, enthusiast, snob probably at times about Star Wars. I'm sure you guys notice I'm like almost always wearing a Star Wars shirt because I love it, and I have probably far too many Star Wars shirts. So so speaking of Star Wars board games, we'll just finish with that since space theme on Chit Chat this week and board game stuff. So I played Outer Rim. I liked it. I want more from it. It felt like it had a Firefly vibe to me, and I would rather play Firefly just because as much as I like Star Wars, the theme bleeds through more in Firefly than it did in Outer Rim for me. Not that it wasn't there, it definitely was there, but the game itself felt like it needed another module, and I'm sure that will come out with an expansion. And I like the game. I can't stress enough. We did a review of it, and for some reason it sounded like I didn't like the game. I like the game. It just, I already have all the Firefly stuff, and I love Firefly. And if I'm going to play a game, I want it to feel like Firefly. I play because it feels like Firefly, not because the game is super great. Like, it's a big open adventure sandbox thing. It can get really swingy. Outer Rim is a little bit more controlled, and so I do like that, but the amount of time that it took for the gameplay was kind of heavy. So, like, I don't know, Rebellion is great. I love Rebellion, but I feel like there's room for another Star Wars game that hasn't been made yet, and I'm curious what that game will be. What do I want? What do I want out of a Star Wars game? Like, what do you want out of a Star Wars game? Like, I'm super curious. Let's see what you guys are saying so far. Not sure. Castles of Burgundy? I'm not sure what the player count is. I know it's a minimum of 2. I'm sure there's a solo mode. I imagine it's at least 4 players. Let's see. Sean likes the ideas of the bounty hunting story, even though he's not a Star Wars fan, which is okay. You don't have to be a Star Wars fan. I find it hard to believe when I run into somebody who doesn't at least like it. And it's not surprising to me when people don't watch it, because if you're not into that kind of stuff, you might not watch it. But it's just been around for so long, it's hard to imagine you just don't have Star Wars in your life in some way, shape, or form. Like, shaped my childhood. I still have my Ewok that was given to me by one of my dad's friends when I was really little. So I love it. And I like Star Trek too. I see people talking about Star Trek. They're separate things to me. They're not a competition between those two. But I would like seeing a Star Trek game. Is there a Star Trek game and I've just missed it? That would be cool. Anyway, so I think that there are definitely people that are very hot about the Star Wars stuff, and I don't blame them. You're allowed to be. You're a fan. I don't always like the direction of where they're going with some of the story, but the fact is I like Star Wars, so I'll take it. Anyway, so I think I've rambled on long enough today. We had a lot of really cool games. Curious, let us know in the comments which games I talked about that you've played, what you think about them, any games that you're excited about that are coming up, and that's about it. So I'll probably head offline here and jump right into maybe getting my husband to play some more Marvel, because I can play that game all the time. Anyway, let us know what you're playing, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.